You know, Christine, one of the things I really believe is through our life journey, the one thing I've found in our life journey, wisdom isn't gained when you get older, to get to my age. Wisdom actually, if you think about it, begins when our life journey began. Through our life journey, we become wiser. And I always say, get to a certain age, and one or two things are going to happen. You're either, excuse my language, you're either going to be a wise ass, somebody who gripes and complains about everything in life, or you become a wise person. Wisdom is gained to where you want to be, but through our life journey it's there. And I have to say, if we believe that we're spiritual beings to come down here to have a human experience, one thing I have to say, we didn't get to pick the vehicle we came in. The one thing is who we become in the vehicle we came in. And I gotta tell you, some people came in this life in a really nice ride. Everything got handed to them. Then there's other people that came in a really bad ride. It doesn't matter. The journey is the journey that you're going to determine your journey to be. It's who you become. So through our life journey is determining where you're going to be. One thing I always say, I always bring this up, we're all proud to be Americans, right? I haven't found a person I ask that question to that says, oh, no, if you're not, I don't think you're going to be here. But the country itself and what it represents is freedom, right? American, being proud to be an American. Even those immigrants that come into this country appreciate what we have. The thing is, if we look at our American flag, what's the American flag represent? Freedom. But the American flag has three colors: red, white, and blue. And if we look at two of the particular colors, which two parties are they associated with? Now, I'm not trying to get political, but what I'm saying is if you take two magnets, for example, we all know that, right? You take a magnet, try to put them together, they push apart. Why? Because there's a force between the two. But by simply switching the magnets, coming together, they're together. But are they truly together? No. If you look at those two magnets, there's a fine line between those two. The thing is, in life, there's only two choices. Two. That's it. Two choices. And we can label whatever we want, right? Whatever label you want to put on it. But there are two opposing forces that are equal. They're constantly battling. Well, that's that fine line between the two. The thing in life, where are you? The thing is, we should all be on that fine line. We are. It's either we're influenced by one or we're inspired by the other. One will lift you up, pat you on the back. The other one will pull you down, beat you up. The choice is ours. I always say in life, life is what life is. It's what you do with the life that you have. We only get one opportunity. No matter what happens, it doesn't change where you are or who you are. The only one that can determine who you are is oneself. We all have a choice, but there's only two. As I say, one will pull you down, beat you up, the other lift you up, pat you on the back and tell you to continue on. Say in life is up to you. We can gripe and complain about what everybody else is doing, but it doesn't change anything. Now I have to say, with these two opposing forces, they're equal. If we take the whole population and put them together, there's as many evil people as there is good people. But where are you? Here's the thing, if we want balance in life, so if everyone was on that fine line, then everything's flowing, right? Flowing. But when people take sides, they're not willing to hear what the other side has to say. Why? Because there's a fine line between the two. As I said with the American flag, two of the colors we associate to two political parties. But what's that white line represent? Because those two, the blue and the red, those are sides. And when people take a side, they're not willing to hear what the other side has to say. But the reason is because there's a wall between the two. We're all Americans, we're all proud to be Americans. But which side are you on? When people take sides, unless you're playing a sport, damn it, you want to be on the winning team. But when it comes to what we have, it's about who we are and who are going to allow us to influence what we do. The one thing I realize in life, it doesn't matter. It's just like with spirituality. We have a belief. Belief. Whatever our belief is different from somebody else's belief. The problem in life is people are influenced by us by what they want us to believe. It should really come down to what you believe and who you are. Because the one thing is, and there's been nobody that's been able to come back from the other side and say, oh, here's what's on the other side. No one. Now, if somebody did, we want proof. Now, we can have a belief, whatever religious belief we have, that's fine, because that's your belief. But the thing is understanding, do we really know? All we have is hope. With all the chaos that's going on around the world, things getting better, people are concerned. Well, the only thing I realized, our time is only at the time that we get. When our moment's done, it's done. I always say, if you knew in the next moment was your last moment, Christine, what would you do at the moment before? Because the thing is, if you knew in the next moment was your last moment, would you take that moment for granted, or would you appreciate that moment for the moment it is? Well, the one thing I realized in life, we're only given but a moment. And any other moment can be taken away. Just as I help people with health insurance, it's helping people understand it's not just about health insurance. If you think that that's all you need to have, you better think again. Because again, whether it comes to our car insurance or home insurance or renter's insurance, whatever it is, insurance is insurance. The thing is, what's the benefit to you? Because if insuring your car can get replaced. You have homeowners insurance, your house burns down, well, hopefully you have enough insurance, it's going to get taken care of. But you know the one thing we don't think about is oneself. The most important asset we have is oneself. Is that something you take for granted? Listen, I know people, I'm going to get to this saying, it's called TGIF. Thank God I made it to Friday. Why? Because people got through that whole week being miserable, get to that Friday and they were out partying, having a great time. Then guess what happens? Sunday evening changes from having a great time to realizing you have to start the whole thing all over again the next day. That process starts all over. And you're a young person, 18, 19, 20, 25, working for a company that you don't like, you hate it, but you're stuck. Why? Where are you going to go? Well, you know, the one thing I realized in life, whatever you truly want, and think about that for a moment, it comes profusion, right? It happens. Why? Because whatever God or whatever we want to believe, we ask for it the right way. It's interesting how it comes, but we don't think about it. But think about it. What you think about and what you put out is what you get back. It's kind of one of those things, if you walk into a building, somebody slugs you in the arm. As you walk in, are you going to react? Or are you going to ask them, what the heck are you slugging me in the arm for? Why? Because again, it comes back to a choice. Reactive or a solution. I always say, get an argument with somebody. Does that argument ever get settled? No. It's kind of like this. I say in an argument's an argument. They'll never be solved. But it's saying whether or not are you going to light the fuse, because once the fuse is lit, it's going to be beyond your control. But if you're willing to step back and say, wait a minute, what's the solution here? Well, if it's an argument, you're not going to settle that argument. There's no winners. It's whether or not you're willing to step away and walk away. because whatever happens at that point stops. The thing is, you can't determine what the other person is going to do. But what it does do, it gives you the time to think about what you need to do next. And it's saying, Christine, sorry, we're not going to get this resolved now. Let's come back when we figure out a solution to what we're arguing about or what our differences are. Yeah, we're human beings and we make errors. The thing is, we always have a choice. The choice is the choice that you determine to be. Why? Because it's only you that can make that choice. I say if you're walking down the street and you see somebody fall about 50 yards up from you. Now, there's people walking by, and there's going to be some people who will actually go over there and help them up. There's others who are just going to ignore or look at them and keep walking by. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. The only thing that would matter is what you do. That's all that matters. Well, let's think about it this way. When I always say that we have two choices. So when I go back to when I was talking about our American flag and the three colors that we have, it's understanding what those three colors represent. So when I asked you what the white stripe represented, and I get different people saying different things because it represents something different to each person. One thing that I've found is what that white stripe represents is independence. We should all be on that white line as Americans. Why? Because we're united as one. That's a white stripe. It's not about the two political parties, because the parties divide us. It doesn't bring us together. But what does bring us together is when we elect those officials either by what they feel that they're going to bring to the people, not to themselves. But the thing that only matters is what matters to you. But when you choose a side, it's hard to understand and help somebody understand what the other side's saying. Because there's attributes to both. The thing is, we have to be able to keep it balanced as understanding it. But the most important thing is what matters to you. I always say a smile is much better than a frown. And I say when you see someone, say hello. Whatever they say back determines how their day is going to be. And I do know that I have a way to be able to get people to go from being, I'm okay, which is okay. It's okay to be okay. So every day you can either be miserable, okay, or you can make it the best of the day. I always say the day begins with the day that you make the day to be. So every morning, as we all look forward to it, do we get up in the morning, just get up and move on with our day? Or we reflect and say, what kind of day do we want to have? Because the only thing you can control is oneself. So as I say, when you wake up in the morning, it's to be given thanks for an opportunity to have a new day to start. Today is today. And the thing about tomorrow, it's always going to be tomorrow. I realized yesterday was yesterday. I can't change what happened yesterday. I can either bring it with me forward, or I can appreciate what I have today. So I say, if you want to start your day, start with a letter. I start mine with the letter A. I'm awesome. Start my day. And it's not just about saying it, but feeling it. Why? Because it's up to you. You got a choice. The choice is yours. You can either, it's too corny for me. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you take with it. So the thing is, when I get done with my day, I like to reflect back on the day that I had. Here's what I find. No matter what happened with the day, I found a solution to get through it. So when I get to the end of my day and I reflect back, I say, I had a really well done day. What's interesting about that, I take the beginning of the day, the end of the day, and put them together. I had an awesomely well done day. Does that mean every day should be that way? Yes. Why? Because I don't know whether or not this is going to be the last day that I have. So if I don't know when my last moment's going to be, I want to appreciate the moment I had before. Just as I say with this message, the message is what the words mean to you. I say when it comes back to wisdom, wisdom is gained one of two ways. Negatively or positively. The impact you have on life determines it. Say if the next moment was your last moment, Would you want to be remembered or forgotten? Those people who are cared for when their moment ends is remembered. Now, is remembered forever? No, but for as long as they are around. The thing is, those who we dislike or is bad is soon forgotten, unless they've done something really bad. But the thing in life, the choice is always yours. It's always yours. It's nobody else's choice. The one thing to remember is everything is a choice. Either you can get beat up or lifted up and patted on the back. I always say if you go up to a 10-story office building, you have two choices to get up there. Which way do we normally take to get to the 10th floor? Walking through that lobby, going to the elevator and going right up. But if you're willing to put some effort behind it, you go to the stairwell, get the stairwell, and look up, and no matter how far you look up, that's a long ways up. But again, in that situation, you have a choice. You can choose to say, I don't think I'm going to do it today, and walk out and go back to the elevator and take it up. But if you're willing to take the stairs, there's effort. What's interesting about the effort is it gives you a benefit of going up. And I always say, even in life, each step you take up, you're allowing another person to come up. So I always say, when I ask somebody how they're doing, they tell me how they're doing, I say, you want to make it better? Yes. It's as simple as taking a smile and saying, you know what, no matter what happens next, I'm going to appreciate this next moment. That'll give you a step up. The choice is always ours. You can either be beat up every day, or you can simply say, I need help up. There are people who are there to help. So whatever you want in life is up to you. You have to just believe in what you have. But the belief is yours. It doesn't matter what anybody else's belief is. All that matters is what it represents to you.